What was the movie that left you thinking, what the hell did I just watch? The Lighthouse. Swiss Army Man. The Lobster with Colin Farrell was bizarre to say the least. Rubber, aka that movie with the killer tire that roams around. I mean, it's not terrible, and I get what they were going for, but you still have to ask yourself the ARPS question after watching it. Did I really just spend an hour and a half-ish on that? Tusk. Eraserhead. Sorry to bother you. Mother 2017. Being John Malkovich. Jacob's Ladder. Everything Everywhere All at Once, Raccacoonie, Hot Dog Fingers, Everything Bagel, Googly Eyes. I probably forgot a dozen other weird things. Midsommar. The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. You know that final scene where the teacher transforms into a huge balloon. Requiem for a Dream. Watched it as part of a rainy Labor Day barbecue. Really killed the mood. Beau is Afraid. I'm thinking of ending things. Sausage Party. The last few minutes I had to rewatch just to make sure I saw what I saw. Antichrist. Mulholland Drive. Spun. It's like Requiem for a Dream, only with meth instead of heroin. O.O. Movie 43. Memento. Had to watch that one a few more times to line everything up properly. Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson. That shit was bonkers. All David Lynch movies. Happiness. Natural Born Killers. Men. Velocipasta. Hands down, it's Vivarium. Primer. Mulholland Drive. After the credits rolled, someone seated in front of me yelled out, "What the fuck did I just watch?" I felt exactly the same way. Tenet. I'm a Nolan fan and I like that he plays with convention, but even after Googling it and reading the plot in detail I couldn't make sense of it. It felt like someone was like backwards fights and they made a movie around it. Donnie Darko. Akira either gets the brain working really hard or broken. The Human Centipede. Teeth. The Menu. Bone Tomahawk. Watched it going in blind, had no clue what the movie was about. Within the first 5 minutes I was like, WTF did I just click on? By the end of the movie I was like, I'd recommend this to people, but this is a movie you only watch once. Said it also The Collector. Had no idea what the movie was about, but I've watched it a good couple times because I liked it so much. I've recommended it to cousins and guys I used to talk to. Okay, don't jump down my throat or anything, but the first time I saw Rocky Horror Picture Show I was pretty fucking confused. LOL, I was a bit younger when I was introduced to it, and then the transvestite alien concept pops up with the singing and the murder with all the sex and all. LOL, afterwards I was so besides myself I had to watch it again and again and again. I absolutely understand the obsession with it now, as I know every word of that movie and strive to go to the live shows. LOL. Mars Attacks. 12 Monkeys. What the fuck was that all about? Fantastic Planet. Inland Empire by David Lynch. WTF did I just watch? The Definition. Swiss Army Man. Amazing flick. Uncut Gems, not because it was a bad movie, but because the ending of the movie meant the end of basically a 2-hour anxiety attack. Annihilation. The Lobster. Gummo. I can't. Blue Velvet, still unsure whether it was great or ridiculous. Eyes Wide Shut. Hobo with a Shotgun. The Star Wars Holiday Special, I found it on YouTube and subjected myself to the whole thing, and that was my reaction. Tusk was a wild ride, lol. Being John Malkovich. What a wild one. Enter the Void. Absolute and total seizure epilepsy warning for the intro. No joke, I don't have either, but I had to leave the room until the flashing lights stopped. But yeah, the whole POV shots in the beginning and literally how the whole story unfolds is wild. Gummo. The walrus was creepy as to watch, and I couldn't get it out of my mind for a long while afterwards, lol. Dumb and Dumber. But I enjoyed it anyways. Communion 1989 with Christopher Walken, great, terrifying, bizarre. Pulp Fiction. The first time I watched it, I knew immediately that I'd have to go back and watch it again to figure out WTF just happened in the previous 2 hours. The happening, the first 5 minutes, some lady just takes a chopstick from her hair and stabs herself in the neck. I just watched Zero Theorem. Terry Gilliam, so it was dark and dirty. A good movie, but I had to Google some explanation to get it. Cloud Atlas. Enemy. Primer. 100 for me, it was Naked Lunch. What a trip. Infinity Pool. It wasn't that weird, but I was expecting a different thing when I watch it. Tenet. Couldn't hear shit. Inception, not a bad movie, just really confusing. Black Swan. Cloud Atlas. True. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy 2011 J. Some friends and I went to see it. I was a little lost. Credits started rolling and the senior citizen behind me says to his wife, "When we get home, you explain it to me." And the 4 of us laughed together because we wanted her to explain it to us too. Barbarian. Downsizing, the move where Matt Damon shrinks himself. It sets up 100 different and interesting plot points and questions, and then resolves none of them, just ends with him accepting his new life and giving an old man some food. It's like if you watch The Fellowship of the Ring, and when they all agree to take Frodo to MT Doom, Frodo is all like, "Now I'm good, I'm just gonna go home and farm some carrots," and then it's just another 2 movies of Frodo farming carrots. Splice. Still angry that I spent money to see that garbage. Lamageddon or Rubber, both are fucking ridiculous. It's my lot in life to recommend movies like these to unsuspecting people. The Revenant. My date and I were silent walking out of the theater. We looked at each other in the parking lot and simultaneously said, "What the fuck?" Alejandro Jodorowsky's The Holy Mountain. Hereditary, such a f-up movie. Parasite. Honestly, The Banshees of Inisherin. Mother. The Cook, the Thief, his wife and her lover. Midsommar. It's one of my favorite movies, but every time I watch it, it's just a huge WTF moment, lol. Tetsuo the Iron Man. We're all going to the World's Fair 2021, Vivarium 2019, we are still here 2015. Martyrs, there's no credit music because there can't be. I just sat there for a few minutes trying to process WTF I just watched. I watch a lot of crazy horror, but that shit sticks with you. Many movies use gore and torture for shock factor, but this is done so matter of fact for a purpose, and there's an overwhelming feeling of hopelessness. Truly fucked up shit. Oldboy, the original Korean's version. House 1977. Freddy got fingered, no explanation needed. The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. I did think it was a sequel to Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium at the time, so that may be on me. The Menu. But in a good way. The first time watching Napoleon Dynamite. WTF. The second time. This movie is awesome. Vote for Pedro. Midsommar. Kids. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I have never taken drugs and felt so freaking high after that movie I could barely walk. Vanilla Sky. Upstream Color. I dare you to find a more confusing movie. Men. Like I understood the plot and metaphors and stuff. But still, just WTF was that. The Greasy